Okay, we're entering part two in this, and there's really not that much left. I thought it would have been about a 25-minute more, but it looks like it's more like 5:10. We were just talking about how Mog Roith was linked through the conflagration of Proto-Europeans coming in and different tribes having already named and ascribed sun gods, that certain ones got thrown out, but that the symbols that go along with him definitely show that that's probably how that connective goes. And he has this omnipotent effect. And we can also see from the surviving stories that Mog Roith possessed the power to control all four elements of nature: fire, earth, and water, and air. In a broader sense, these are the aspects usually ascribed to a tribal pagan gods who are almost always omnipotent. This again likely places this druid into a role of an ancient sun god who survived the ages in the form of a powerful folk hero. Furthermore, the elements of this story are not unique. They appear throughout the Celtic-speaking world, especially in the British Isles. Stories of the sea god, Manon MacLear, or the powerful wizard Merlin have clear parallels to Mog Roith. There are many similar folk stories on the continent that date from the oldest ages of ancient Europe. Can you think of any more? Well, how about Gandalf, which was, of course, derived from that? But if we were to try to step it back another age before this, we could find like Aaron and Aaron's staff and the symbology that goes along with it, and that's still there. Yeah, it's almost unavoidable that when you go back through the Bible, you're going to find paganistic beliefs that are drawn into it. And while you can say they're trying to get away from it, and we've gotten away from it now from 2,000 years, if you will, we really haven't gotten away from it all of our days of the week. Names of the planets, the way that it still works out, our numbers, geometry, math itself, everything that goes along with it was all derived from an age whenever this was in effect. But ultimately, Mog Roith is an iconic representative of the colorful, unique, and unmistakable Irish mythology. His is only one story of the sea of powerful characters with ancient roots, and due to in part to the early Christianization of Ireland, these folk stories were preserved, pinned down by monks and scribes, snatching ancient stories away from the grip of passing time. Indeed, the only reason we have these stories now was that some of these monks were to write this down, but in doing so, you could tell that they wrote it in a flavor that was distasteful, that they did not embrace what was going on in any way. They were, they were going against it directly. And so it's almost a making fun of it type situation. One wonders, with the small amount of writings that were evident and that we still have today, what others would have been created if that effect had never happened. There's a belief that there were a lot more writings in the Celts and the Druids than there were in the Bible or in all the stories about the Greeks and their gods. And you think about that amount, and that they had that many stories that thick, as thick as Egypt or anywhere else. We look at it in the modern day and it looks extremely shy, and we hear about a few separate things, and I'll bet you that a lot of people that are listening have never heard of this concept. But he is indeed actually one of the major components of what we think of as a magician, as a wizard, which has a lot more connotations than just somebody's trying to pull off a magic trick. Then again, like we've often said, if you had something that was so far advanced above somebody else, a simple magic trick or a flick of a lighter would seem to be magic to those people. Let me know what you think downstairs. Sun come up, moon go down, worlds spin round and round. Time for another lesson, Grasshopper. Peace.